So far, we have seen that Momo and Okurun defeat the aliens once again and return to their school. However, because they were not wearing any clothes, the entire school sees them in that state. The school nurse then asks them why they are naked. Was someone bullying them? Did someone tell them to take off their clothes? The three of them deny it. The nurse says that they don't need to hide anything from her because she herself hates bullying. Just then, a staff member arrives and tells the nurse that there is a call for her from the teacher's office. The nurse hits him on the head and says how many times she has told him not to open the door without knocking. She starts reprimanding him and walks away. Momo then wonders what they should do now that people have seen them in such a horrible state. Era, crying, says that what will happen to her popular and innocent image now. Momo starts blaming the aliens for targeting them. Okurun then says that this time they came for him and wanted Turbo Granny's powers. Momo asks Era how she was using Acrobatic Silky's powers. Era explains that her powers are... However, Momo and Ira are still worried about what they will tell the school authorities, feeling that no one would believe them regardless of what they say. Ira then suggests that she will blame everything on Momo, claiming that it was encourages Okurun to use the same excuse. Momo is unfazed and agrees to take the blame. Just then, Ira's two friends arrive, also assuming that Momo must have done something wrong, and they take Era away with them. Momo then asks Okurun what he and Ira were doing during lunch. Okurun gives her the whole story, explaining that Ira was trying to kiss him, which caused them to fall. Momo saw them at that moment. Curious, Momo asks what Okurun was doing there, to which he replies that he was working out because he wants to be strong. Momo questions why he felt the need to hide this from her. Okurun thought that if he could become strong without telling Momo, he would seem cool in her eyes. Momo starts teasing him, asking why he wanted to appear cool in front of her. Okurun simply responds, "Because I'm a man," and can't say anything more, preparing to leave. He also mentions that he won't blame Momo to make her the villain. Momo calls out to stop him. She wanted to say something, but at that moment her friends return. They mention how Momo suddenly disappeared from their class and start asking why the two of them were without clothes. Momo responds that even if she tells them, they won't understand. One of the girls then claims she understands everything. She says there's a girl named Ira in Class D, implying that a love triangle is brewing between Momo, Ira, and Okurun, and that both girls are competing for Okurun's affection. That's why Momo was paying such close attention to that shrimp, trying to learn how to punch like it so she could defeat Ira in a fight. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ira is surrounded by her classmates, who are all feeling sorry for her. Ira declares that she doesn't want to talk about it, and thinks to herself that her popularity has worked to her advantage, as no one is thinking ill of her. However, her classmates start talking about how it must have been Momo who did all this. They believe she must be jealous of Ira's beauty, and express their desire to take revenge on Momo, insisting that she should be punished. They plan to spread more dirty rumors about Momo to make sure she learns her lesson. Hearing all this negativity about Momo makes Era uncomfortable, and she reveals the truth, that she herself spread the false rumor about Momo so that her classmates wouldn't say bad things about her. Everyone is shocked by this revelation, and Era leaves the class. Once outside, she starts beating her head in frustration, realizing that she has ruined her own popularity. Just then, Momo arrives and sees Era sitting alone, which confirms to her that Ira must not have said anything bad about her. Suddenly, the mantis alien appears before them and states, "I can't go home like this. I need to make money to support my family." Ira immediately transforms into her acrobatic silky form, and Momo readies herself to fight. However, before the mantis can launch an attack, he faints and falls in front of them, mumbling the name Chiquichita. It turns out that Chiquichita is the mantis's son. He apologizes to his son, and suddenly opens his eyes to find that someone has bandaged his body. This mantis was actually at Momo's house. Momo tells her grandma, "Look, this is an alien." But Granny still doesn't believe it and responds, "This looks more like a sea monster. It doesn't resemble an alien at all." Okurun explains that according to some theories, kappas, or sea monsters, are also considered aliens. The mantis stands up, having overheard their conversation. Momo warns him, "Don't even think about fighting. My grandma is now on our side." The mantis notices that there is some food placed on his bed. Momo explains that since they weren't sure what aliens eat, she made some curry. Upon hearing this, the alien starts to cry and says, "No one has ever taken such good care of me. I will never fight you again." Saying this, he begins to eat the curry. As he continues to eat more food, Granny kicks him because he is finishing off her favorite dish. Meanwhile, Turbo Granny kicks Okurun. Ira and Momo are also fighting over the food. After quite a struggle, they finish eating, and the mantis speaks up, explaining, "My son is sick and needs a blood transfusion every day, or he will die. My wife had the same illness and she has already passed away. I need a lot of money for my son's treatment. There is a war on my planet, which is why I went out to earn money. Their bodies are very strong, so they usually get jobs as bodyguards, but I am too weak to find any work. That's why I have to resort to illegal activities, which are very dangerous." The mantis begins to cry. Upon hearing this, Okurun asks, "What can we do for you? If it helps your son, I'm willing to give away my banana, which you can sell for money." Momo interjects, saying, "You should think before you speak. A lot of money isn't a permanent solution since your son needs blood every day." Okurun responds, "We are in trouble, and I just want to help him." This leads to a debate among the three. The mantis agrees with Momo, saying, "She is right. I should find a proper job. Okurun has thought enough for me, that is enough. But I don't want to bring you any more trouble." As he begins to leave, Granny stops him and says, "You smell like blood." In fact, the white liquid oozing from the mantis is his blood, and Granny recognizes its scent. She then offers the mantis a glass of milk, which he drinks and starts shouting, "This stuff is just like my blood." Granny explains, "The smell from the mantis's bandages had the scent of milk, so I figured out that this alien's blood is nothing but cow's milk. When you think about it, cow's milk is made from the same thing as his blood." Momo suggests, then the mantis should take plenty of milk with him so that he can give it to his son every day. But this milk was filtered for humans. Granny adds that he should take a cow with him for fresh milk every day. Hearing this, the mantis starts to cry happily. Granny then buys a cow from a dairy farmer and gives it to the mantis, who takes the cow into his UFO. The mantis thanks them, saying, "I will never forget this favor. If you ever need my help, I will surely come." With that, he takes off in his UFO. Momo says to Granny, "Now you believe in aliens, right?" To which Granny replies, "That wasn't an alien, it was just a sea monster." Then Momo, Ira, and Okurun request Granny to buy them new uniforms because their old ones got torn during the fight. Granny agrees to buy uniforms for Ira and Okurun, but insists that if Momo wants one too, she has to first act like Hiroshi Abe, a famous actor from Japan. Momo reluctantly agrees to do it, and Ira laughs heartily at her. Just then, the doorbell rings and Momo goes to answer it. At the door stands a boy named Gigi, and upon seeing him, Momo is shocked and asks, "What are you doing here?" Okurun inquires, "Who is that boy?" To which Granny explains, "He's Momo's childhood friend and her first love." Okurun reacts to this revelation, and the episode concludes right there.